That could be the week after.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, I'm frozen. Please unfreeze. It's not a good look.
Oh, he's live now.
Hola. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is something wrong with my video? Oh no, I'm frozen. Please unfreeze. It's not a good look.
I'll see you, Alice.
All right. Live. I just need to adjust the screen a little bit so that everyone can see everyone. Let's see. All right, we've got people joining us just as we start to try and get the stream to look reasonable. The joys of this kind of setting up every time.
I've left Nathan to cook our dumplings. I hope that he's not fucking it up.
Good strong start. Language.
Sorry.
Way jumping the gun.
This ain't a kid stream anymore. Trying not to cut Hazel's head out. Or Hazel and Alice's heads out. Just got to wait like the 6 seconds for the stream to update. Alright, I think we have things set. Welcome in everyone to the OMJ live stream. Tonight we will be cooking with Alan, or our Asian friend.
Hola.
So you'll notice we have Alan, Becky the dog, Alice, featuring Nathan in the background, and Hazel.
You said Becky the dog as opposed to Becky, the dog, and I'm like, damn.
I myself
Time.
So some people are already on to dessert. They've skipped straight ahead.
Really?
Really? Who?
Stefan, he's already got dessert ready.
Rude.
Dessert dumplings. Ellen, we should have done dessert dumplings.
Oh, we can do dessert dumplings another day. To be honest, I've never tried to do dessert dumplings at home. So they could be the
I have. They were reasonably successful. I was a little bit tipsy at the time. Could probably have gone better.
All right.
Just a note, Reese is listening in, so this is now a PG stream.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Reese.
Roger that, amigo. Let's see if I can keep my phone straight. Maybe if I rest this in here. Oh, yeah. All right. Paprika's going to keep my phone straight.
Paprika. Yay.
All right.
Paprika for the win.
Is everyone at, James? Are you able to just see people to comment where they're at? Are everyone's ready to go?
Yeah, we'll give it a stream lag time, but let's get people to comment if they're ready to start listening to Alan's instructions on making your dumplings. Hopefully you've already prepared and chopped up your ingredients.
If you haven't, the chopping takes forever.
I'm just going to chop like a madman, Barra. Chop like a madman. Okay. Okay. Right. And I'm just going to crack into it, more or less. Feel free to catch up. Pretty straightforward.
Seems like people are ready. Sorry, go Alan.
Cool. All right. Well, I'd say start with adding in your baking soda and your corn flour to your meat if you haven't already. So that's if you've got about 600 grams or thereabouts, it's about a teaspoon of corn flour and about a quarter teaspoon of baking soda. So those are your only sort of dry ingredients, as it were, and that just breaks down the proteins in the meat and just seals it off as well. So add those two in. Around, grab your other wet ingredients, your seasonings. So I'm adding in.
Slow down, I forgot these ingredients.
Yeah, so start with the dry ingredients again, Alan?
So about a teaspoon of corn flour or other starchy sort of flour. That'll seal off the meat. And about a quarter teaspoon of baking soda. So that'll help break down the proteins in the meat. These are two pretty classic, like, Cantonese ingredients in terms of, like, meat and flavor profiles, because it helps break down the meat and seal it off. Be careful not to put in too much baking soda, because it will leave it a slightly pinkish hue the more you put in, so try not to overdo it with the baking soda. After you've done that, start adding in your other wet seasoning ingredients. So the recipe I put up, the picture had oyster sauce. If you don't have oyster sauce, that's fine. Just add in other umami stuff. So a bit of soy. I'm adding in about, I'd say for this, 2 tablespoons.
Freestyling.
Yeah, Hazel.
Taking specific measurements, Hazel taste, whatever seems right.
To be honest, when I do it myself, I sort of eyeball it anyway. But just to give you guys a bit of guidance, if you've got about 600 grams of mince, pork mince, this is sort of what you're aiming for, yeah. So add in a bit of soy. Add in, if you have like rice sherry, you can use that. Otherwise, the classic Chinese one is Shaoxing rice wine. But rice sherry is like a good substitute. I'm getting in about a tablespoon of that. Yes.
What? Ellen, why are we mixing with chopsticks?
I mix with chopsticks because that's who I am. You can mix with whatever you want. No, it's not a requisite, but I like that you're wrong.
Yeah, some of you may notice Alice skipped ahead on the instructions and has already cooked her.
I was hungry.
Yeah. Right, and then add in about, it says 2 tablespoons of sesame. I would probably stick with 1 tablespoon of sesame, just because it's quite fragrant.
What is it? Sesame oil?
Yeah, it says 2 tablespoons, but I'd stick with like 1 and maybe like a little bit more if you really like sesame. Yeah. Bang that in there. Give that a good mix around.
More freestyling.
More freestyling. And then I'm going to add in my aromatics, my garlic and my ginger. Another good mix around. Let those flavors know each other.
Sing, Ellen. Sing it.
You know, I've been watching like a lot of Babish on YouTube just while they're like stuck at home, just like watching just anything on YouTube.
Yeah, I've probably gone through a lot of my YouTube stuff.
It's like, man, I'm just going to sit here and just listen to some dulcet tones and makes delicious things. Right, I'm adding in, so I think on the thing it said chives, coriander, that sort of thing. I'm adding in bok choy for my veggie component. I've got spring onions. If you do spring onions or another like chives or another herby thing, I recommend put that in now. Mix in a little bit at a time to gauge the ratio, and then add in if you need to.
The garlic chives super stunk out my whole house today.
Oh, really?
That is strong.
Yeah. So, to be as a starting point for those who like maybe haven't made it before, like you basically start with a protein of your choice. Pork is the go-to because pork is a pretty classic like kind of protein. So you can do this with like beef or chicken. If you do it with chicken, I'd recommend using chicken thighs just because the darker meat will have more flavor and we'll be able to take in more flavor. I'm adding in a bit of sweet corn as well, but you don't have to. I think Hazel's got like some shiitake mushrooms, which is real good if you're wanting a bit more like umami flavor. And if you're vegetarian, then you can add that in as part of your vegetarian mix. That's cool.
Alan, do you want some chili?
I don't add chili, but you're welcome to. I can add chili. She was just like, bomb all of it.
I put chili in my dipping sauce.
Yeah, sometimes I add chili in my dipping sauce just because it's a bit more forgiving that way.
Mm.
All right. I'm going to add the water.
Do you know, that's like excellent advice on how not to touch your face at the moment. Just chop a lot of chilies because, damn, it really hurts if you accidentally touch your eye.
Sure does.
Did you guys want that? Any jokes?
What?
I was going to say, did anyone see the Kurzgesagt in a nutshell video on the virus? And they were like, washing your hands. How should you wash your hands? And they're like, well, like cut up some jalapeno chilies and you're about to put your contacts in. That's how you should be washing your hands.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so good.
So add in water a bit at a time just to plump things up and give it a bit of moisture to make sure the meat doesn't dry out too much. But try not to overdo it. If you've got chicken stock handy, like for next time, this is not a bad time to add chicken stock. Add a bit of extra like savory chicken flavor into. So
Hazel, how many people have you been making these dumplings for?
What was the question?
What was that, Beck?
How many people are you making these dumplings for, Hazel?
I'm putting them in the freezer, so I'm making 100. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of ingredients.
yeah.
I froze half my mixture because I didn't have enough wrappers, but yeah.
You need the meat filling to do other stuff. You can make little meatballs out of them or like little medallions out of them.
Yum.
A bit more water. Just
Is that your mum again, Alan?
No, this is my boss. I'm going to have to take that. Sorry.
Okay, so keep adding in until you start to get like close to like a sausagey consistency. So I'm not quite there yet. I'm pretty close, but if anyone can see, like this is you can see I'm at. I'm going to keep going a little bit more, but not too much more.
I like not following any of your instructions, and mine looks nothing like yours.
Hazel's just gone off on her own path.
Hazel's been my supervisor for so many years, and she's like, what? You're not my supervisor ever.
I want to know how Deb's coming along. I know Deb's making some. Deb, how are yours going?
Get someone to
Right
write to us in the comments. Get Reese to punch a reply in the comments, maybe.
So how's everyone in the comments going with keeping up with Alan and Hazel's pace?
Just add everything. How wet should the mixture be, Alan? That's your question.
So basically like an uncooked sausage consistency, but not quite. Like pretty close to, but not quite. You want it to be reasonably homogeneous. You don't want it to be too like clumpy.
Who else has a sweet dance-related apron? Just me?
Alan, people don't quite know what the sausage consistency should be.
I'm getting there pretty close, but I don't know if you can see that, James. Can you see that? Like in terms of like this sort of consistency, I'm getting pretty close. I might add a bit more water.
Deb, does that help you out, hopefully?
Like, I think I am, after that last one I've just added in now, pretty close. Like this sort of...
I had a couple suggestions for next time. Dessert is a...
Dessert with what?
Hey, Alan, what if it's too wet? Not my question.
You're right. I'm out of here.
Steve and Zoe would like you to know that theirs is
and
wet.
Rebecca. It's quite a few people who theirs is a bit wet, Alan. How are you?
Hey man, when life gives you lemons, life gives you wet lemons. I don't have any complaints.
Add other veggie things like me. I put carrot and cabbage in mine because why not? That's what I've got in the fridge.
That's actually a really good strat. Like in terms of making dumplings, it's a really good way just to like get rid of or like use up a bunch of different things that you got lying around in terms of veggies and stuff. You can do what you want. Like I said again, like the recipe is a base. Like any recipe, you adapt and make it suit what you got going on. Right. Has everyone got their how they're going with their consistency of their mixture?
I think most people are figuring out how to dry it out, but
use a hairdryer. I feel like that would work well too.
I think Hazel's suggestion of add more ingredients may be the best option here.
Ingredients, maybe add a little bit of corn flour, but not too much. If it's too wet, don't stress too much. But yeah, a bit of corn flour, maybe a bit more extra ingredient ratio, just to soak up a bit of the extra moisture.
Yes, and then if it's a bit wet, then you can just cook it off, and it'll just take a bit longer to cook.
Oh my God, James! So you don't know how much restraint I have to put on. It's crazy. Oh my goodness!
I'm just here to help you out, Alan.
On my back.
Hazel, where your head is now is being cut off by my video.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just going to try and move my video up. Becky and Alan are the same way around.
I might add a little video in here. All right. James, let me know when everyone in the comments is basically caught up.
Do we have any dance questions while Alan's mixing and people are drying?
Oh my goodness.
None so far, but yeah, Alan, I'd say
Ready to start rapping?
Yeah, I think so. Let's go with Debsy thinks it's okay, so we'll use her as the marker. She's spoken for everyone.
This isn't a democracy. Okay, right. Grab your wrappers, whether they're bought or pre-made. If you manage to make them yourself, kudos. It's a bit extra work, but you know, still work. Alrighty. So wrapping. We'll go over the full fat version first, and then if you're with children or not so great in dexterity, then we'll go with the slightly more approachable version. You can grab a teaspoon or a knife, both are fine. The knife means you can sort of paste it out. Grab about this sort of ratio of meat to like wrap. Get a little bit more.
Can you put that a bit closer to the camera, Alan?
Okay, how about that?
Here we go.
About that. You can start off smaller and then see how you go with the wrapping. The first one, like pancakes, is probably going to be a bit weird, but that's all right. So I like to flatten out the filling first to get all the air out as much as I can, just like flatten it out. And once you got that done, all right, let's see how I'm going to do this. How big is that? Oh, there you go. Okay, all right. So you're going to basically hold it in your less dominant hand. Grab the other ends. Pinch to seal the first. Oh, geez. Hang on, let me just angle myself. Nope. Okay. I tend to start from the right side. You're going to pinch here like a clam.
You've gone out, Alan.
Can you to the right? There you go.
Okay. I can't see the screen, so I have to rely on your guidance. Okay. So like a pleat, you're creating pleats. Taking this, pushing the pleat into your dominant hand's index finger. There's your first pleat. Okay. Then you pleat, press, shuffle along, pleat again, shuffle along. Yeah. So here, you've got this pinched already. Push with your less dominant hand to create the next pleat. Press and seal. As you hold this, I'm kind of on an angle, so I can't let the meat like fall into the pocket due to gravity, but it'll be easier for you, hopefully. So in your less dominant hand, you're holding it and creating like this pocket so that your hand and profile, your middle finger and your ring finger are lower down and your index finger and your pinky finger. So you create this nice pocket where it can sag in so the meat doesn't push to the top while you pleat and seal.
So you want a saggy meat, something.
Hey,
Hazel.
you're a loose cannon now that you've eschewed responsibility.
That's right.
Loose cannon.
All right.
So
Well,
you get to the
Nathan, I have these sweet dumpling folders that Alan gave me. I'm going to try this out.
all right. Well, whilst
All right.
everyone is attempting their first round of packaging their dumplings, we've had a couple of questions come through. We'll start off with Thomas Gaines' one. What made each of you start dancing?
Hazel.
So,
Oh,
Becky,
that's your
Hazel,
answer. I thought you were answering. Was that your answer, or you were deferring the question?
No,
No.
that's my actual answer.
So I saw a demo. I used to work at Science Alive, and I organised all these groups to come in and do demos. And one of them was Viva Modern Jive or Ciroc at the time, and they gave out what was it? 3 free classes, and so I went. Alan, this one makes it stupid.
Oh no, Hazel.
Oh, well, hang on. Which size did you use? Like the
Medium.
medium? Okay.
Going with it. It's fine. It'll be faster.
It'll taste nice.
Yeah. All right.
Why did you start, Alice?
Do people need to see again, or are they happy to keep folding, or do I need to hold my thing next to the camera still?
We'll let everyone answer the question, and then we'll get you to do another demonstration.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I started because I saw Holly Rabone and Nick Law dancing at Mr. Vet in 2014, even though probably most of you don't know who they are and don't know what that is, but at vet school every year we have this like talent show, which is just for male vets because there aren't very many of them, and they compete in hilarious sections such as lingerie modeling, or I think it might be swimwear that they're supposed to do, and they have to do a talent. Anyway, Nick Law's talent was dancing, and I was like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So I asked them about it, and then eventually went along to a class with Holly, and it was the best thing I ever did.
It's cool. I think he is the only male vet I know.
Except Nathan. Deb, you want to have a tray? I'm using a baking tray with baking paper on it and just putting them on that for now.
Sorry, I've only got my phone this week, so I can't see the chat.
Don't start cooking them yet. Alan's just storing them on a tray. So we've had Hazel, Becky, Alice. Alan, sorry, I don't know if I may have missed your answer.
No, I haven't gone yet. My answer is... Oh, jeez. Okay, sorry. Phone's getting things. I asked a lady that I used to work with when I was in high school and part-time in a pharmaceuticals warehouse. I was like, I think this is a skill that I need to have as, I mean, you could say it's probably a slightly antiquated way of thinking, but I was like, oh, this is a good skill to learn as a person, as a man. You should be able to, like, dance with anyone, whatever. And she was like, oh, my daughter, Maria, goes to these classes, etc. And I was like, okay, I'm going to check it out. And that was more years ago. So
1967.
Jesus, Sarah. In which case, I'm doing good as AF. I don't care what you say. I'm
You
looking
look
good.
fantastic.
Doing well on that aging.
Yeah, man, those Asian genes.
James, what about you?
I was kind of a mix of Alan and you in that I kind of had always wanted to learn it, and then ended up seeing some friends doing dancing at the university graduation ball. Kind of asked them about it. They pointed me towards the university dance club. You Can Dance in Canterbury. So it's kind of like, well, I'm still in Canterbury, so I might as well give that a try. Started out with that, and then from there got pointed towards, at the time, Icerock, now OMJ, and kind of just kept with it.
Cool.
Top tip while you guys are rapping, just make sure you guys, when you seal it, as much as you can, seal it off like properly, because when we cook them later, we're doing a process of basically searing, steaming, and then re-searing. So during that steaming process, you want to make sure that it's pretty well locked in, so you can cook it properly.
Don't do it. Leave them open. See what happens.
I saw this really interesting video where this guy went to like a ooh la la. Oh geez. Okay, this is a dud. Okay, dud. She got my
Bra.
But they went to this like ooh la la New York food court type place, and the dude was at this place, and they made like a deconstructed dumpling. It was basically like an open faced taco, but it was like super ooh la la.
Was it nice?
It looked really nice. I didn't try it. I just watched some rich guy like eat it.
Hold on a second, Brody. The answer to your question is no. Alan told me off when I tried to use something to help me seal them.
No, it's just you pinch it.
Pressure.
You can use a little bit of water though, right? If you're having trouble.
Yeah, the cheat way is if you're having a bit of trouble or your pastries may be a bit dry and they're like not super fresh, then if you have a bowl of just normal water, just when you get your thumb, just like wet your thumb, seal the edge, and then that'll help it seal a little bit better.
All right, Alan, do you want to give us another demonstration of you sealing one up so that people can just get the chance to see it, and then we'll move on to the question?
Yeah, give me a second. I'm just finishing this one off, and then I'll start fresh.
Whilst he's doing that, Hazel, how's the dumpling press going?
Yeah, it's faster, but it doesn't look as cool. Makes me feel like a noob.
It was part of the reason I gave it to you, Hazel. I was like, you can use this, Hazel, but use it at your discretion.
When I go off camera, I'll totally use it.
Factory line, just pump them out.
Hilarious. Okay, so let's put a little bit more filling to this one.
I feel like I shouldn't have made all mine earlier now. I thought that it was going to be like kind of hard to do while talking, but I'm not really doing any talking, so it would have been fine.
Right. Okay. So, how am I looking on the camera? I'm pretty okay there. Yeah, so that's sort of here. Okay. So here, I have about this much amount of meat. You'll hopefully have started to get a feel for like how much you can get in before it starts like spilling out at the end, and you just build up more and more as your technique gets better. But again, so here, I'm starting from my dominant side, hand, dumpling in my less dominant hand. Pinch the first one to start at the corner. Push with your left hand, pinching the wrapper into your index finger of the right one to create this pleat. Here, remove the index finger, push down and pleat. There's one. Again, two, and you just keep shuffling along.
A bit more, Alan, so we can see the pleat.
There. I'm sorry, I'll do the next one. Yeah. Here, there's the pleat. See?
Thanks, buddy.
Pleat. And as you get to the end, if the meat's starting to come out, use your thumb and just pop it back in there.
Yep. Okay.
All right. No drop.
All right. Moving on to our next dance question. Related to kind of how you got into it. But what are your backgrounds in dancing? What dances have you tried? And do you bring any of that back to your modern jive?
Oh my God, can we put up a video of us all doing hip hop last year?
I don't think there's a video of me doing that, thank God.
I think they're all on yours.
Oh, really?
Oh, I got them.
Ellie?
Yeah. Hazel has a secret stash of all of us attempting hip hop.
She does.
This is
super cool.
And Alan were around. Who had to do it, Hazel? There was you, me, Darren, and Zoe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do?
We did. Hazel organised a one-on-one session with us with Ellie, and it was amazing. But she thought we could, like, dance. We can't dance. And
isolating every single part of your body, and it was hard.
Yeah, and she was just doing that for a warm-up for us, and we were like, ah! We had no idea what was going on. It was great.
I did jazz ballet when I was a kid for years, and then when I was at uni, I did hip-hop, and then I did salsa and ballroom and tried kind of lots of different styles, and then ended up liking modern jive because I didn't have to go every week if I didn't want to. It was flexible and I could use all the other styles in it.
I've never done.
Nope. It's an Alice. Hazel,
Oh, geez.
Can you still hear me?
your answer.
Well, I can hear it. I can hear Alice.
Yeah, so I'm still here. Something's just gone wrong with my video. Someone else talk while I figure it out.
Sure.
I was gonna say, just once people have got, like, I'd say sort of 10 or 15 like wrapped up and ready to go, then just start punching in the comments and let me know.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for that.
Thanks, James.
My puppy's back.
All right, Alan, what was your dance background, or have you tried many other styles?
I mean, if you're going like stretching real thin here, I'm clutching at straws. Like, I was super into Michael Jackson. Used to watch his concerts on repeat. That's my dance background as a child. I didn't like do jazz or like, you know, any actual formal training. I was just like, man, this guy is the bomb. As far as childhood goes, I did West Coast for a couple months, like ages ago. And then my lazy ass never got back into it in media when it started back up. It was like super cool when I do use the stuff in it, you know, pretty consistently, but just finding time in the week to have an extra night, you know. Some people, it's like they love it and they can do it, super great. But yeah, just at the moment, just my one mistress is MJ at the moment.
Becky, apart from your initial stint at hip hop, any other styles?
So I'd never done any dance before, and was just introduced to Ciroc by Hazel, and then through the time of doing modern jive, I've tried other dances like salsa, bachata, zouk, swing. I'm sure, and enjoyed all of them, but found the freestyle part, like especially with salsa, there was just the class, and then you got kicked out because there was another class coming in, so there was no time to practice, and so I just didn't enjoy it as much, and it wasn't as social.
Yeah, I found that as well. So, like Becky, I've absolutely no background in dance. In fact, my best friend once told me that I was the most uncoordinated person she'd ever met, and she was embarrassed to watch me dance in a club. So this was kind of like...
Sorry. Not very nice.
Oh, you're doing better than me.
And then I started doing modern jive and got really addicted to it. And after I moved to Christchurch, I did try a few other styles. I did zouk for about 2 years and would have carried it on if I had time. I just have no time, but like to go back to it one day. I really love it. I have learned so many skills from it, especially about body control and isolation stuff. But like Vicky said, it's just a class and then you go home. So you don't get to experience dancing with lots of different people and the really social, fun side of MJ that we get. They do have socials and practica and stuff that you get to do, which is really cool as well. And their classes are very technique focused, and I learned a lot from that, and I would definitely want to go back. So it's not a complete no for me with classes in that format, but I certainly love modern jive for getting that social, fun dancing every week. And I also do West Coast swing. I've been doing it for probably 2 years now, a little bit longer, and I still find time to do that from every now and then.
Yeah, I'm the same in that no dance history until I started modern jive, and then have tried dance styles. I think tried at least beginner courses in little things like bachata, salsa, cha-cha, rock and roll, Lindy Hop. And yeah, and then West Coast swing as well. It's probably West Coast and modern jive are my two dance styles, and I definitely take a lot between the two. But yeah, Zouk is kind of one of those ones that's like, I'd really love to have time to do this, but 2 dance styles is kind of enough for your free time. 3 verges on impossible.
Once I finish my masters, I'm going to go back to Zouk. That's my plan.
Yeah.
How many has everyone made so far?
I've got like 20.
Alice is so far ahead, she's cooked them already. Come on, guys, catch up.
How do yours taste, Alice?
Oh, they're so good. I'm very impressed with myself.
Rate yourself, Finch.
I'll bring you one round, Ellen. Oh, no, wait.
Leave them in the letterbox. I'll judge them.
All right,
how's
sound
it
off on how you're doing with your prep. So Ellen will possibly start moving us into the first round of cooking. Deb's on 13.
Wait.
Stefan's on 0. Nice modesty, Alice.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good. She's like, because I've been basically going non-stop, and I'm just on 14 now. So
Bree just Snapchatted me. She's making, I think that's fried chicken. She's like making the wrong Asian food. Oops.
Yeah, Zoe's on 12, and Stefan, hopefully we're entertaining enough for you.
okay, all right. Cool. All right. What about everyone else? Anyone else who's following along and going?
I think Brody's the only other one who's really following along, but I haven't seen him comment yet, so hopefully he hasn't had a mishap and it's still going.
Brody, comment not yet.
He's got
What was that,
12.
Alan?
Bree informs me that was actually sweet and sour pork. Just thought I'd let you guys know.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I think I should not drink all of this wine next time.
Good idea.
Next week's our cocktail session. You're going to have more.
What drinking culture problem? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we totally didn't panic by alcohol.
Oh my god! I saw the article. I'm
I
like,
actually
well,
did not panic by any alcohol, but we just happened to have rather large amount of alcohol in our house.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I was like, I don't need to. I have a lot already. Happen.
It's from hosting things at your house and people leave things behind, and then you just end up with a bottle of this here and there, and then it adds up.
Yeah. Welcome, Amanda.
People want to start putting on their fry pans on the heat and just get it warming up at about medium high.
So start frying pans on medium high, was it, Alan?
Yeah, medium high. Start getting ready. If you are indeed ready.
Yeah, I think most people who are cooking along with you are probably ready to start their first round of cooking.
Cool. Sweet.
Do we have a question?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. So last week we were asked about pet peeves, but this one is a bit more specific about for your role. So in the case of Ellen and I, we're primary leads. So what's a pet peeve we see in that's a problem or that annoys us? And same for the follows.
So we're
I just
talking
like
about
to say
follow.
I entered my last competition as a lead, even though I didn't get to do it.
I'll let you pick which you decide is your primary role, Alice. Hazel, what's your biggest pet peeve you see in follows?
Rushing forwards before your lead.
Sure.
Sure.
Alice, what are you answering as?
I don't have an answer yet. Go to someone else.
For me, mine's the same as last week. It's quite often the elbows raised when they don't need to be. But the other one is there's the weird arm wave that happens at the end of the slot with a lot of people.
Another one. I know what you mean.
And it's, you
Demonstrate,
just
Alan. Demo.
What was that, Alice?
Okay.
Can we get Alan to demo if he knows what James means?
It's like this. Like
Oh.
you get to the
Yeah,
and you're
it's just
like
this
That's
weird,
like giddy up.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It just happens at
Yeah,
the end of the
pretty
slot,
much.
and you don't know what it's there for because there's no reason to do it. It's just like, why have you done this? It just looks weird. So yeah, that's probably my...
Or Hazel may be able to answer that question a little bit better.
Sorry, what was that, Becky?
I said Hazel or Brad could be able to answer that question a little bit more.
Hazel,
What
do you have something to tell us?
I don't know. I was over there stirring my dumplings.
Alan, can you demonstrate again?
That's deflecting, Hazel. That's deflecting.
Do you know why Leeds would be doing what Alan is about to demonstrate to you?
One of these.
At the end
Hey,
of the
get to
slot.
No. Should I? Becky, you need to PM me.
Oh my God. The quality
This is
of the
going well.
call. I know you said PM. P as in P for Patrick and M as in M for mother. I thought you said P as in a bodily function. And then not M, but as in the opposite to out.
Wow.
Oh.
I think I just got around that. I hope Reese hasn't raised any eyebrows, but I think I just got around that.
All right, Alan, what's your biggest pet peeve in Leeds?
Well, for leaders, it's when, I can't fault them too much because I get it. You get to a point where you're comfortable and you're starting to get confident, and that's super, super cool. But it tends to happen around the, relatively new to reasonably familiar with me. And they'll just start dipping and dropping like their thing is going to dip and drop their partner's pants off. And I'm like, there's that. And then there'll be guys who are stronger than me. They're clearly stronger than me. These guys are like 4 or 5 times stronger than me physically. But they're too excited in class and they didn't quite get the technique down yet. And they're about to drop these girls on the floor or these fellows on the floor. And they're 4 or 5 times stronger than me. And I'm like, there's no reason for this to be happening.
Who is? I think that's Hazel.
Looks like Becky. Is it Becky? You can having a riot.
Annoying.
Okay.
All right, so
First bat. So, have medium high. Have a lid ready. Hopefully, put a lid that fits your pan. Non-stick is the most foolproof. Stainless steel if you need to. Just be careful on the heat. Pouring a bit of oil just to cover the bottom. Less is quite health conscious, but that's fine.
She's going to get Nathan to do the cooking.
Shimmery. I can probably do this one-handed.
So talented.
I really wanted to.
Let me take my hand and start this.
Puppy.
So start placing the dumplings around the pan, reasonably giving them a reasonable space, but they will puff and expand, especially when they start.
So those asking in chat, we're only just starting the cooking now.
Yep.
Not meant to. No worries if you're ahead, but if you're not at the cooking stage, don't worry. That's happening now.
How hot do you have the pan to begin with, Alan, or did I miss that bit?
Say again?
How hot do you have it to begin with?
About medium to medium high.
Medium to medium high.
What you're looking for, start getting a bit of color. So mine was pretty hot already. So I'm already starting to get a little bit of blistering underneath the bottom of the wrappers. Just make sure you keep an eye on that. If you're a bit squeamish about the oil at the moment, feel free to use like tongs or like really long chopsticks, like cooking chopsticks if you have them. But just keep an eye on them. And what you're looking for is just starting to develop a bit of golden brown. It doesn't need to be like the finished golden brown, but it needs to be start developing some color.
As
While that's happening,
demonstrating now.
Okay.
Ed.
While that's happening,
Sorry,
Yeah.
Alan, can you repeat the cooking instructions? A couple people missed them, and that shows you.
Okay. Okay, so pan on medium to medium high. Oil in, make sure it's ready to go. Place your dumplings in there. Oh, I can probably fit like 2 more in the middle, but that's all right. Okay. And then as that's happening, you're just looking out for the dumplings to start getting a bit of color. Basically that. Yeah, that I'm ready to go. I'm going to turn the heat down just so it doesn't burn while I continue to instruct you guys.
All right, well, we'll give it a couple seconds just because to make sure Deb and Brody are happy with that.
Cool. While that's happening, make sure you've got a cup of water at the ready, a glass of water, because we're just finishing the initial sear, and then we're going steaming them to actually cook the filling through. And these rapids are a bit dud, so I'll take that off the heat for a bit while people catch up.
While they're catching up, Alice, have you figured out your pet peeve?
I just muted you. My pet peeve, I've decided, is leads and follows. Over opening out. Nathan, can you help me demonstrate with the Wurlitzer?
We'll get full demonstration.
Using my partner. So instead of just opening out like we always say in class, like kind of just not even up 180. We're like just opening out a little bit. People always do this.
Yes.
I don't know if everyone can tell what's going on here, but we are opened out like way past 180 degrees. We are. This would be straight here. This is what happens. No matter how many times I say in class, just open out to not even 180. I usually say that your foot goes out kind of at 45 degrees. That's my pet peeve because in class I say it every single time and just, I don't know, people just don't seem to hear me.
All right. I'm going to see if people are caught up because mine is starting to get a bit too far ahead before I start adding water. So just beat your ducks. Take your pan off the heat just so it doesn't splatter in your face too much. Grab your water, get your lid ready because we're going to steam it up. Pour in the water gently, about a cup of water, thereabouts, enough to cover the bottom of the pan and about comfortably cover the bottom of your dumplings. And then lid on, back on the heat.
Mine tastes good, in case anyone's wondering.
Thanks, Farrah.
Yeah, it looks like most people are caught up. Have we had everyone's pet peeve?
Yep.
Sure. All right, so
Any more questions at the moment?
there is one more if I can't quite scroll up.
I didn't last question.
Sorry, what is that, Becky?
Yeah.
Becky, I didn't
What do
hear
you
any of
mean,
what
yeah?
you said.
I said I didn't answer that last question.
Sorry.
Oh.
What's your pet peeve for follows then?
My pet peeve for follows would be when they go for returns, when they just raise their arm straight up in the air instead of keeping their wrist. Oh, this is not going to work with the dog. Keeping their wrist kind of into them.
Jesus, man, I was wondering what that was with Farrah.
Farrah's got a.
I hope no one's watching my lack of health and safety, like water on the pan, no lid. Psh, wah.
Okay.
All right, we do have one more question. Do you get nervous about asking people to dance? And if
Yes.
any
Every time, every day.
yeah. Any advice for how to deal with nerves or to get over it then? So, sorry,
I've been
I'll
dancing.
repeat the question before we get answers. So the question was, do you get nervous asking people to dance? and any advice for how to get over it or dealing with it. So I think we pretty much got everyone saying yes, they get nervous asking people to dance.
Let me know if that rain shot is too loud.
Just answering Lydia's question about the...
Yes, I can answer, Lydia. So I put the water in earlier. I don't leave it quite as long as Alan, so I let the frying happen after the water. So I put the water in right at the start.
Wait, you don't sear yours first, Hazel?
Nope.
Oh my God, what are you even doing with your life?
I put oil in, put the dumplings in, put the water in, put the lid on, wait till the water's almost gone, and then I sear them on both sides. And it works.
Okay.
Does
That's
it?
fine.
I find mine stick really badly if I do that.
Yeah, that'll be
Nope,
one thing you don't... Yeah, so I recommend searing first for that reason. It doesn't... I mean, Hazel's obviously got a way that it doesn't... for her. But the other thing is that it also means that it creates like a nice flat base for the shape of your dumpling, because they're kind of more or less modeled after old-timey gold Chinese nuggets. That's the idea, right? So when you sear it on the bottom, it creates a nice flat surface so that it doesn't like just form while it steams too much. Even though the water will soften the crispy base first, you sear it for that reason, so it doesn't stick and it has a nice platform to hold its shape. And then you re-sear it on the same base afterwards. Sorry, carry on, guys.
Well, firstly, Rebecca, yes, you should always ask us to dance more often. We're just as scared of asking you as you are of asking us.
So I think that one of the ways that I get over being scared of asking people to dance is by remembering that they want to dance with people. They're there to dance. And I guess people have said to me, oh, I don't want to, I'm a bit worried about asking you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but I would love to dance with you. Of course I would love to dance with you. So I try and like reverse that thinking and be like, no, they would like to dance with you. They're here to dance with you. But it's really hard if it's someone that you've admired for a long time. It can be like super scary.
Especially if you've ever been turned down, like if you do ask someone and they shoot you down, that makes it really hard to then get up the courage to ever ask them again.
Yeah. One of the ways I would kind of somewhat circumvent that is, instead of asking people to dance, I ask if they're still dancing. So that way it's less of a rejection.
That's sneaky. I like that.
It's a way of kind of being like, are you still dancing? If you're not dancing, then it's cool. I didn't have to worry too much. So it's I find it less risky, but
like a psychological cushion you make for yourself.
Yeah.
That's right. I was going to say, for me, it's kind of like it's very similar to, if you think about it, like in high school when you're asking out your crush or something like that. You're asking someone something where there's fear of rejection, right? But in this instance, because there's nothing more than just spending 3 minutes enjoying a song together, right? You just have to remind yourself that everyone is just people. Everyone is just people. Like, it's very easy to put, especially like strong competitive dancers, or people who teach, or people who taxi, or that sort of thing. And it's very easy if you're quite new to put these sort of people on a pedestal, especially so if it's in a foreign setting, like you're at an event or something.
Sorry, I'm just going to stop you for a second. How are you letting the dumplings steam?
Until the water evaporates. Until all the water evaporates. So when you start hearing like splattering going on, like crackling going on, and you can hear it's like refrying again in the thing, then you can take the lid off and then re-sear it. But for about a cup of water, it ends up being about sort of 6-ish minutes, give or take. But again, it'll depend on the size of your pan and the heat you're on. So I'd say keep an eye on it. I'd say if you're a bit worried, turn the heat down a little bit so that it doesn't evaporate too fast or burn. So leave it on sort of medium heat while it steams away. But you're waiting for all the water content to evaporate. If you put a glass lid, hopefully you should be able to see that as well when all the water or very little water is left. And then you're basically it should be cooked through by then.
My tip is if you're not planning on eating them all tonight, put them on a baking tray and put them in the freezer. So they'll have to be separated. You freeze them and then take the baking tray out and you can put them into bags in your freezer. And then you're set for 4 weeks at home. Yay.
They freeze very well. It's a very good, easy food to freeze. And if you're wondering about what you do to cook them from frozen, it's same instructions. Just be a bit more wary of the heat when you do it initially. So maybe start on a slightly lower heat when you first sear them, so they have a bit of time to warm up, and you're not like going from the sear to the steam process too quickly, so that you have a bit of time for it to warm up. But apart from that, it's basically the same process. So if you're ever out at Costco or a Chinese supermarket and you buy a bunch of wrappers, they come in packs of 50, that sort of thing, don't be afraid to grab like a second pack and you've got 100 going on, and then make a thing out of it, especially if you got like flatmates or family. You can all sit down and do the wrapping. If kids can't do the full wrap, they can just get the water method with a thumb, pinch it, seal it like an envelope. It's not as pretty, but I mean, tastes just the same color in the end.
Cool. Had another question. What is your favourite event other than Christchurch Champs? And
Stefan's there.
Yeah, and Stefan has hinted at what that should be.
I loved the Inspire event that we went to. It was great fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I did too. For those who missed it, yeah, I'd highly recommend. It was super cool, very friendly, and super beautiful place as well. Nice people. Would rec.
Mine's Syrup Mania.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. What's the reason for that?
Mainly, the reason for it is that it's all fun categories, and they make you mix up through the levels, so you get to dance with people that you don't normally get to compete with. So it's awesome.
That's cool.
It's on this weekend.
Alan, I need to ask you a question. Oh, sorry, there's lots of noise here. Stop making noise. My dumplings have steamed, and it's gone to making popping noises, but they're all stuck.
So take the lid off and just turn the heat down maybe a little bit so that it's still searing. And then once the searing is finished, they'll come unstuck on their own. It means they're not done yet if they're still sticking. So turn the heat down so they don't burn.
Turn it down. Okay.
Turn the heat down a little bit so it doesn't burn, but let it keep searing until it becomes unstuck on its own.
Then keep what, sorry?
And then just keep letting it sear until it comes unstuck on its own.
Okay.
So just every now and again, give it a poke every now and again just to see if it's done. And then when it releases, then it means the moisture's dried up and it's seared off properly.
Favorite event, I also liked a second favorite event after Mochwaka. I also like Syrup Mania. I like Wellington Champs, and I love OMJ Winter Weekender.
I'll play there. Yeah, I would say also if we're barring our own hometown events, I would say Wellington is another favorite of mine. Very friendly, nice place. Everything's super convenient. You can get the accommodation secured. Everything's in walking distance. You don't have to worry about transport or a car, getting to the airport. It just takes like an extra layer of hassle and admin that you have to worry about in terms of just like logistics. So nothing is in the way of you enjoying the event.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd also say I've been quite enjoying Simply the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
That's quite a fun one to just hang out at.
I would say reasons for that similar vein to Mania, and that it is fun events. We get dressed up for the ball. Nice. We don't really get to see each other like dressed up super nice unless you go to each other's like friends like weddings or something. But normally we just like don't really dress up. So having a ball is like kind of nice to look nice with your mates.
Yeah. Given that we've all mentioned events that generally have fun categories as their primary competition, what is your favourite fun or favourite category in a competition?
Girls blind.
Anyone else got a favourite?
I was blind too. It's good fun. But I like D-Was a lot, and I realise it's not a fun category, but
It's fun for you.
me.
Yeah.
Different definitions of fun.
And Steels, love Steels.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, Steels is numero uno.
Yeah, I'd agree. Steels is probably my favourite. Favourite competition event?
Steals and music mashup.
So I'll just mute myself while my thing is going a bit nuts.
Oh, and the Melbourne competition I also really enjoyed last year. God, I've forgotten what it's called because I'm eating my dumplings.
Is that Dance Mad?
Yeah, Dance Mad was very cool. Same reasons, really friendly. Lots of fun stuff. Cool people, not too big. It was cool.
That kind of ties into Stefan's question of recommendations for Aussie weekends to attend. So you.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, because I haven't actually done. I've only done West Coast Australian events. I've never done actually any modern jive events in Oz.
Either have I. I'd really like to. If Ignite happens this year, then I think I'll go to that. I've heard it's really good. Nathan, did you have recommendations? Because you've been to a few Australian events for modern jive. He says it's been too long.
Becky, having dropped out of the Skype call, says in chat, anything in eating runs. Next question is, what is something that you wish you knew as a new dancer in your first year or so?
There's so many things. Oh my gosh, I wish you could see me as a new dancer and be like, oh.
I am glad you can't see me that much as a new dancer. I would say probably my thing wish I knew is, as a lead, the follows don't know what you're going to do, so as long as you commit to the movement you're leading, it'll all work out.
I guess something that was told to me that I do distinctly remember from my first year of dancing, I think I was about 6 months in, and I was at Christchurch Champs, and someone said to me, you don't dance on a slot. And I was like, what's a slot? Because we didn't dance on a slot in Palmerston North, so I'd never even heard of it. But I guess the learning thing for me there was, it is also up to the follow to dance on a slot. It's not just the lead who makes that decision. The follow also needs to make a conscious effort, because your lead might not be able to get you, or they might really be struggling to keep you on the slot, and you should be helping out.
Still thinking, Hazel?
I think mine would be, and I started before a slot was probably a thing at all in modern jive, but mine would be knowing that the dance was a two-way conversation. So we teach so much of it, and used to even more so, that the lead leads and the follow follows. And I think we've been trying desperately to make it more of a two-way conversation recently. And I would have loved to know when I started that was a thing, because I think I just focused on follows. And no, we will not post our first ever competition dance video.
Oh, yeah, Christine's already been given an evil look for that.
But maybe the hip hop video, because it's funny.
That. How about you?
What did I miss? I feel like Hazel said something that I just missed.
Yeah, Alice, you need to do some hip hop dancing for us now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
We all just did it. It's your turn. Is anyone else eating their dumplings? I want to know how they taste.
Yeah, I think Zoe Deb and Brody have been cooking along. How are you guys going with your dumplings? I think Ellen's going to talk to us again.
Should be.
Mine are very determinedly stuck to the pan.
Definitely a couple of pokes with. I'm using chopsticks, Alice, but like just get like another utensil and just give them a bit of a poke around the edges, like increasingly, a bit more aggressive, but don't punch the wrapper, obviously. But if they're like firmly in place, they're not quite ready. I'm having to give mine a few more quite a bit of encouraging poke, getting to the legs, but most of them are ready. So just to get the
People want.
So obviously you can see that like I've got a bit of air in this one, but you're looking for a nice golden brown. And I like to fry them on another side as well. You don't have to.
How's you looking, Alice?
They look great. I managed to unstick all of them. That's the first time I've ever done that. So clearly I've just been too hasty in the past.
Yeah, man. Chill.
Oh, Nathan, there's more dumplings.
Now that you kind of got them prepared, people are asking, what dipping sauce would you recommend?
So dipping sauce is like one of those really, like you can go so many routes with this. A classic one for me, I'll just get away from the pan, is I would just go black vinegar. If you ever get into a chance to get to a Chinese supermarket, this is like Chinese black vinegar. This is a real classic, like, Cantonese and northern style dipping thing. It's just straight black vinegar. Some people like to get soy, just a bit of soy. It's fine. You can add in a bit of like chili flakes. Sometimes I add like chili flakes to soy. There's some like really cool like chili paste recipes online. You start looking for like Chinese chili paste dipping sauces. Those are really good. Or like chili oil. If you've never made chili oil before, they're like really good recipes for that online. There's a really good channel called Chinese Cooking Demystified. If you're ever interested, they do really good videos, and they'll give you like really good substitutions for ingredients that aren't easy to find in Western supermarkets. But yeah, dipping sauces is like, do what you like, man. Do what you like.
Can I tell you my white?
Vinegar, or you can
Can I
just
tell you my white person one?
What's your white person one?
Sauce, Hazel. I am.
Oh no!
Woody, get out of here, Barra.
No, so mine's 4 ingredients: soy sauce, a bit of sweet chili sauce, a bit of lime juice, and a tiny little bit of sesame oil. Delicious.
Oh yeah, sesame oil is also a really good one, but obviously in moderation.
Mine is soy sauce and rice wine vinegar and chili flakes, coriander as well. But I really love black vinegar. That's probably my next.
It seems like most people are wrapping up their cooking. We're going for an hour, so do we want to do one last dance question and then possibly wrap up the stream?
Yeah, what's that, like 4 dance questions in an hour?
Yeah. The last one is, what's the most dressed up you've ever gone for a dance competition?
My first one.
Same.
I'm not going to answer this question.
Why not?
Why
I'm going to leave that as an enigma.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of YouTube searching for Alice videos.
Well, I'll find it.
99.99999% sure this video is not on YouTube.
Yeah, I think most of us probably, in our beginner level comps, or when we were starting out, definitely dressed up a lot more than we do nowadays.
Yeah, man.
You competed.
What do you mean by dressed up? Because I put a lot of effort into my competition outfits.
No, you do, Alice, you do. But yeah, James and I are pretty awful.
I put enough effort in that I put a good shirt on, but I'm generally roll up the sleeves, untucked, casual about it.
Yeah, for freestyle, like a shirt, that sort of thing. But Yeah. For me, like the first one, I had like a full shirt bunned all the way to the top, had a tie, no rolled up sleeves. It was,
there's a photo of this. I want to see.
I'm pretty sure I've got the same, and my tie was bright neon green.
I remember
there's photos of that.
I remember this actually.
Zoe, you're doing the right thing.
What is that?
Putting some oil in after water evaporated.
Oh, you can. You don't have to. There's nothing wrong with it, but you can if you need to. If you feel like you need to.
I didn't that time. That's the first time I've not done that, and it worked remarkably well. Following Alan's extra instructions of just waiting.
Chill. Turn the heat down a little bit. Just let it chill, and you'll be fine.
Because I've done quite a lot of ripping the bottom out of my dumplings by adding more oil and keeping it hot.
Then you destroy.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've got something with some semblance of, kind of that.
Nice, Alan.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Alice, people are very keen to find out more about this costume of yours.
Alice has done a lot of box competitions.
What?
Alice has done a lot of bots competitions.
Yeah, I think
that's what's up.
Bots are generally the one people get the most dressed up for.
There is a lot of photos of me dressed up for bots, and those I'm fine with. They're very funny. Or slightly embarrassing, but they're fine.
What does that say about this one, then, that you're talking about?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
Come on, Alice, we're all friends here.
No. There are
on
actually a few people.
There are no
There are a
friends
few
here.
people who know, but I very much doubt that they would say anything. I hope. Please don't say anything if you're watching this.
Deb wants to know if she put in too much water.
Who?
You still waiting? I'm guessing Deb's still waiting for the water to evaporate.
Oh, if the heat's a bit low, just wait till all the water evaporates, and you'll start to hear it. You'll start to hear it splattering inside. It should be, if she put it in about the same time as me, she should have been done pretty much. Like, she should have been done a couple minutes ago.
So then, yes, you probably did put in too much water.
I put in, like, this glass amount, so about that much, thereabouts. If it's more water than necessary, that's okay. It just means you steamed it for longer, and it's, like, definitely cooked. That's fine. But you're just waiting a bit longer to start eating. So, that's not always a win. I'm actually going to try one. Try this one.
Cool. All right. I think, Ellen, how's your dumplings turned out?
Good. I think I had maybe a touch too much ginger, but actually, I'm okay with that. Ginger and pork go together nicely, so I'm okay with that.
Cooking with your Asian would not be complete without an appearance of Princess.
Hi, Princess.
Hola.
She doesn't fit in my dumpling cases.
Oh, no.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, she's a lot bigger than on her last appearance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I might mention, if anyone's wondering, we definitely did that in one take back in the day. One take, first try.
Why does that have to be specified?
Because it took us like 20 takes.
Because we had to use, what was it? We only had 5 seconds.
Wine. Yeah, those wines were still a thing. And we couldn't keep a straight face.
Hazel, that's really loud.
The cat meowing or the water?
Water.
Everything in Hazel's mouth is really loud.
Oh man, I've eaten all my dumplings and Nathan's playing a game and I really want to eat his. Do you think I just do it?
Do it.
Yeah.
What?
What's the worst that could happen?
I am stuck with it for 4 weeks,
Just making some toast, you'll be fine.
How's everyone else going? How's everyone else going in the comments, James? The ones who are following along.
I think Debs she's doing it. So I think they're getting around. I haven't heard from Zoe or Brody yet.
Okay. Well, you can only hope they're already steeped in deliciousness.
And Rebecca. Rebecca was making them too, I think.
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Zoe said she's just added a bit of oil in. So she should be
Just like
about finished.
we see it. Okay.
I might need to remove these from my vicinity because it's pretty mean if I eat all of his, isn't it?
Like, yeah, you eat another one.
So Rebecca's got some, but they're ugly. You can post a picture to the page, Rebecca, so everyone gets to see.
Post. I won't judge, I promise.
He will.
Come on, James. Come on. They might have believed me.
Hey, that was Hazel that called you out. I just...
Whoa.
Oh, damn. Nah, I mean, if you're making deliciousness, like, again, same color in the end, eh?
We're all going to get it no matter what, so...
Alice, do Nathan's dumplings taste better than your dumplings?
But they kind of do.
Why?
There's 4 left. Just like trying not to eat them.
Brody's pretty happy with his. He's moved on to making vegetarian ones.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's so cool. Nice.
Rebecca says she might post her second attempt.
Good strat.
But I think that's
Pretty good.
what's up, really.
Oh,
Cool. Thanks
right.
everyone for joining us for the OMJ live stream. We should be back next week. Current ideas are karaoke, dessert, or cocktail party, or learning to make cocktails.
and Hazel teaching us backflips.
Sorry, what was that, Alan?
Hazel teaching us backflips.
Oh, yeah, well, Hazel teaching us a backflip. I look forward to that.
All of these things are totally dance related, but I think more importantly, they are social related so that we don't feel quite so isolated while we're stuck at home.
I concur.
Yeah, I think these are good. It's been good to see everyone in the chat and asking questions, and those that cooking along with us. But otherwise, thanks for joining us, and we'll hopefully see you next week or hear from you next week. Bye.
Au revoir.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.